Each year, Microsoft Research hosts hundreds of influential speakers from around the world, including leading scientists, renowned experts in technology, book authors, and leading academics, and makes videos of these lectures freely available.
Good morning and welcome everybody. Welcome to the Search Summit. And this is the last day of the festivities here. And a warm welcome also to the people who just joined us. So I'm talking like to some of the students and who came for just one day here. So thank you very much. Before we start, I wanted to talk about what is bringing us here today. So what is bringing us here today, like about a year and a half ago, I believe now, time flies, we had the request for proposal funded by Microsoft Live Labs. And it was about accelerating search in academic research. That was actually the most popular request for proposals we did in the team, like in the external research and program team. And the reason for that, it was well written. No, it's not just that. It's really the content of what was there. So when we're thinking about what can we do differently, say, from government agencies to help enable some academic research, when we talk about internet search here, we thought, well, hearing, and listening to people in academia, data. These words come back and back and back. So we didn't know exactly what data. We didn't know exactly which research questions. We started asking, what are you looking for? And we received some answers. And some people are, just give us data and, and we'll figure it out. And so we thought, okay, let's try and see what we can do, in terms of giving data. And that was an effort which involved not just, we didn't just go to product team and say, okay, give us data. So it involved like a bunch of stakeholders in search at Microsoft, from Microsoft Research, from the product teams, Microsoft Live Labs, Live Search, and Microsoft Research, both Redmond, SVC, Cambridge. So trying to see, okay, so what would be useful? And also we worked with the privacy and policy team, because of course something which became obvious to us is that although the data belongs, in a sense, to the companies, it really belongs to our users. And we are users too here, right? We're not just researchers. And of course, in that context, when we talk about providing search queries, so how can we do that in a way where we are not going to leak private information? So trying to fully anonymize, well, we're not 100% confident that we could do that. So we did scrub the data, right? I would say scrubbed. So, and not only that, but we also covered the assets with a licensing agreement, right? To make sure, well, if there is something which when they're let's make sure that it's just used for research purposes and for the people who are using the data. And another thing we also provided as part of the RFP was an increased quota to the search API. Up to 100,000. If you say 1 query per second, some people have made the calculation. All right. So, and then we had the winners who are here today. So I wanted to go. So we have actually most of the projects here. We have actually 11 projects represented. Here I will just, go through quickly. And the only project which will not be presented, actually the projects will be presented by the principal investigators. And we have also 2 students who will be presenting some of the projects. The only project which will not be represented, sorry, I went through it already, is the project from UMass, but I did ask, as part of doing this presentation, I did ask, with the assets, what was good, what was bad, what would you like? And I did ask Bruce to send me a slide. And I understand that I have a volunteer to present his slide. And Mr. is looking at me. So we will... Oh, I forgot that. So I guess I'll be the volunteer then. Oh, that was a threat. I didn't realize that. So anyway, so we'll have one slide from the project from Bruce. All right. So what are we doing here? So we have 3 goals today. The first one is to share results. Share the research results about, what has happened like in a year and using the data. And how the assets did contribute in the Search API to actually, or not, to actually accelerating research. And for that, I did ask, the slides, and I'll come back to that about, I think everybody should have one slide on the assets. And also, and I think it's also important to engage in a two-way conversation between, researchers here, professors from academia, and our researchers from Microsoft Research, from Microsoft Live Labs and other product teams. The format, so we'll have 11 presentations with 1 slide on the quest for assets, the good, how it helped you, the assets we provided, the bad, how it did not help you, to answer some research questions, and the wanted, what would you like? An ideal world. Not to say that we'll be providing it, but we will right away, or we need to understand what it is and then see how we can move forward. We'll have a demo session at lunchtime over the table over there, and we try to improvise, and so we won't be doing it here because it's a day which is full of presentation, a fun day. We'll do interactive demo sessions. And at the end of the day, we'll have also a poster session, and we'll have a talk from Gary Fleck. That's the only talk, actually, from Microsoft that you'll have. And after the poster session, we'll do a 10, 15 minutes of wrap-up and next steps. Some logistics. We are videotaping the session. So I believe everybody should have a form, a release form, or whatever it's called in your folder. Please sign it. And so this is for our visitors only, right? And any question, I want to introduce Jennifer at the end there. You've been interacting with her. So if you have questions, Jennifer can help.
On those release forms, you just have to put your name and initial the boxes and sign it.
Did you hear? So on the release form, put your names, initial, and sign it. All right, and last but not least, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for submitting your proposals, your excellent proposals, and for your participation here, and for your flexibility, too. When I asked, a presentation, when I said, can you please add this slide on the assets, because we really want to hear about that, so thank you very much. And before we start the presentation, who is here today? So not everybody is here yet, and I thought that, rather than going around and giving names, and so I wanted to see a little bit, like we're going to slice the population, the current population here. So first I want to see, so who, well, first by geography. So who is coming from Asia? Just, put your hands up. Is it technically Asia? Well, this is the MSR Asia, then.
They're in the Asia region, that's for sure.
Okay, so we have three persons here. Yeah, I thought so too. From Europe. And affiliation, right? I'm talking affiliation. Okay, right. Okay. From the US, the East Coast. All right. West Coast. Mainly, of course. Okay, now people from who are coming here from academia.
I'm the hard one. You missed the heart of the U.S.
I did. So we're now we've singled you out there. Okay, from Microsoft Research Product Teams. All right, and we are still expecting more people. So I hope, during the day, everybody will know everybody else. We'll have plenty of opportunities to interact. And so now we're going to start with the first presentation on the project from the University of Washington, and presented by Ethan.